It's been for the support and education of our coaches. And it's been for the involvement and benefit of our communities. Those are things I intend to make sure we expand upon. So if I can ask everyone here for one thing today, it's that you use your connections, you use your strengths, you use your resources and skills to help us advance that mission statement into the future. We are a great organization, and there's no doubt about that. Just look around you. But we can become better and better and better. But that cannot be done without everyone here. This is an organization that should be led by the many and not the few. It's an organization that needs to be developed by everyone who is a stakeholder in it, whether it's a student athlete, a coach, or anyone else. I won't take up too much more of your time. I do want to congratulate every award winner here this afternoon. I also want to thank my colleagues for the trust they have in me to lead this organization into the future. Thank you very much. Enjoy the afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. A very, very important part of our ceremony each year is the Frank Kelly Adversity Award. Overcoming adversity was Mr. Kelly's trademark. Refer you in your program to page 10. We have some athletes of the year, and we have a very special award for a young man who's overcome adversity. The amazing, incredible Max Gilmore. Mr. Jim Hoare, our past president, has spearheaded these awards for many years. I'm going to ask him to introduce Max for his award. Mr. Hoare.
For those of you guys who don't know Frank Kelly, he is a walking legend, was a legend, still is a legend. I first met Frank in 1982 up at Reading High School, and his discus throw was throwing against my discus throw, and he had his little sun hat on and his stick. And he's cheering my girl, and I'm like, who is this guy? And we became very close friends. He had a house on the Cape. He would come over to my house, I'd go to his house. And he told me a story of what had happened to him when he was younger. He had tuberculosis and he was institutionalized. It was like absolutely amazing. So that's why we created the Frank Kelly Award, to honor Frank, but also honor the kids that we see in a daily basis. I was a special needs teacher for 35 years. I had a Down syndrome sister, so I know how hard it is for some of these athletes to do what they do. And it is just an honor for me to meet Max, congratulate Max, and have Max come up here and get his award. He is here.
Well, first I want to start off by saying thank you to anybody that was involved with nominating me for this award. Ms. Woodward has been a huge part of my whole track career, my high school and middle school. I started off in middle school in this wheelchair doing track, and then I met Miss Woodward, and she just has done so much, got me connections with people. I'm getting a racing wheelchair in a few months, and I just want to thank her for helping me through everything. The last year has been pretty rough. I had a major surgery in March, but she's been nothing but supportive through all of it. So thank you.
Again, moving fairly quickly. A very, very important part of our banquet each year is the Frank Mooney Award. And this year, because of problems with our schedule, we still were able to select 2 athletes of the year from spring track. As you can see in your program, this is presented to the outstanding, most outstanding male and female athlete, as long as their coach is a member of the association. Mr. Mooney served as the executive director nobly for many, many years. He's a legend. He was on at the 20th anniversary gala at Reggie Lewis a number of years ago. It's my pleasure to introduce him to present the Spring Track Athletes of the Year Awards.
The real reason for naming the award after me is I'm the oldest guy in the room, probably. A few weeks ago, Mr. Tazi emailed me and said, would you present the Frank Mooney Awards? And I got pretty excited about that. I think it's an honor to have my name attached to this particular award. In the time I've been coaching in Massachusetts, which is probably about 55 years or so in Mass, we became, and I became aware, and our organization became aware of so many athletes that we had in this state that were so outstanding. Moving on to Olympic athletes winning gold medals, outstanding college runners, outstanding high school runners. So we started an organization, or an honor rather, called the Mass State High School Athletes Hall of Fame. And it worked out really well. And then our organization sat down and said, you know, it might be even better if we could stop in the time period in which the athlete is involved in the sport, that we recognize some of these outstanding athletes. So then we came up with the Frank Mooney Award, which is only a few years old. So I think that we've made some great moves. James is the new president and might be thinking about some other things in this area. But it would be up here too long if we gave you some of the names of the people who came through Massachusetts and impacted the sport of track and field over the years. So let me start with this year's award winners. So I'm going to ask, first of all, if they have the young man come up first. We need Jonas, Clarke, come on up, please. So Jonas comes from South Hadley, Mass, and I was in here earlier talking to some coaches from Western Mass. But when I first started getting involved in MSTCA, I'm a Rhode Island guy. I hardly knew anything about Massachusetts and track and field. And when they would say something like South Hadley, I'm like, is that in America? I have no idea. And over the years, our organization realized that we weren't paying attention to people around the state and the coaches around the state. So we've done an awful lot of things to bring the whole state together. And you're one of the few new recipients of an award coming from something outside of Eastern Mass, which is really something. This young man is putting in all out of time, and like all the other athletes in our state, the COVID interrupted a lot of our training and our opportunities to be in meets that would help us grow. And yet this young man is running off some unbelievable things. And he started off as a freshman, and I can remember seeing him at Reggie Lewis smoking these times. And I believe we were talking earlier, I think in the All-State meet, he finished second in the dash and got out leaned at the finish line. We had a young man who was pretty quick. Well, he's continued on with this great speed he has. And he showed us this past spring that he has it, and with another year, hopefully this year, Jonas, we got a full year in him. He ended up winning the All-State meet for us, and he ran a time of, and a lot of you don't know what it really means, but it was 10.69. And then from there, he went on, like a lot of our athletes in our state, and he went out to Eugene, Oregon to compete in the New Balance National Championship meet. And when he went out there, the first time he went out as a freshman, he scored. And this year, as a junior, he went out and he finished 5th. He ran a fantastic time of 10:46 or 49, 42. Where's your coach? He told me it was 69. Okay. So, and then according to his coach, because I'm not into the dashes too much these days, it was the fastest FAT time ever run by a mass athlete in the 100 meters. Now think about that over all the years, the fastest time ever. So as a freshman, he also ran the 200 meter, and I said to him, do you run it anymore? Occasionally, not too often. Do you long jump or high jump? No, I focus on the 100 meters. I'm a 100 meter man. So with that in mind, you're a great example for our state of an athlete who's put time and energy into what you do. You've gone all the way to national recognition. He's got one more year left in high school, so imagine what's going to happen hopefully over the next year. It's my great honor to give you the award as the outstanding male athlete in Massachusetts this year. All right, we have a second award winner. We have a male and female winner. I have Katelyn Gorgenyi. Come on up, please. I had to meet with her earlier. I'm known for hacking up people's names. If you're not Smith or Jones, I can put a different name to you. So on my own team, I make up nicknames for the kids who have names that I find difficult. Pronouncing. And even at stuff, I end up clerking at any big meets, I might go, Katelyn from North Reading. And they come up and go, you don't know how to pronounce my name, do you? I said, no, I don't. Help me out. And I still would hack it up. So I don't think I did that bad. I hope. No, okay. All right. This talented young lady, she is probably one of the most talented we've had up here in a long time. And it's backed up by a statement from her coach. And this is a quote from her coach. She is the best all-around track and field athlete in the school history, and arguably maybe one of the best ever in the state of Massachusetts. Now this is coming from a coach who has been coaching a program that's been very, very successful over a number of years, and he's had a lot of outstanding athletes. So I would think that would be quite an honor to have your coach make that kind of statement about you. Katelyn's track and field career, like so many others, again, was interrupted by the COVID pandemic, but it did not stop her. And she's a multi-event event person, so she had to do a lot of work to work on all these events. And this abbreviated spring season that we had, she showed off that all her hard work was going to pay off. In the dual meet season, she was the outstanding Cape Ann League competitor. She was voted by the league as the MVP of the Cape Ann League. During the season, she set school records in the long jump and the 100 meters. From there, she moved on to the MIAA state level meets in the sectionals. This is where it becomes pretty impressive. She won the pentathlon, and then came back a couple days later, and in the sectionals, she won the 100-meter hurdles, and she also won the long jump, scoring 30 points by herself for her runner-up team. Then the next step was to move on to all-state competition, and she moved on to the all-state competition. She won the pentathlon, came back in the all-state meet, and in the 100 meters, she finished second overall, and in the long jump, she finished third. Winning 3 medals at a state meet is an unbelievable accomplishment. and she ended up taking out 3 medals from our all-state meet. She also qualified to go to national competition, and one of the things I was supposed to ask her when she came in was how she did at the nationals, and I'm a little forgetful these days, and I don't know if you made out well or not, or how the experience was. She goes, no, forget it now. So, well, you gotta understand, these 2 young adults were out in Eugene, Oregon, where our Olympic trials are held, and next year will be the site of our world championships. So just going on that track, and I go on that track, I get goosebumps thinking about I'm going to be in the spot where these meets are being held. So I can't imagine what I do to young people when they walked out there. It had to be quite impressive. So she's now a student at UMass, and she's going to be competing on the UMass team, and we're lucky enough that she's at our state university doing that. So I'm excited that I have the privilege of also giving her the Frank Mooney Athlete of the Year Award. And I'd like you to join me in congratulating her.
Special congratulations to Katelyn and Jonas for your incredible career in track and field. And Max, you're an outstanding young man and inspiration to all of us, the entire MSTCA, and we salute you for your courage. And all 3 of you, keep up the good work. Thank you. Okay, so it's time for dinner. We're going to try and come back and stay on the schedule. And as a certain muscle-bound fellow named Arnold used to say, I'll be back. I'm trying to bring some new cliches back, but I'm also using the ones from 2013.